Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 92 of my modded Factorio playthrough. In this episode, we are going to finish up with our stone processing setup. Enjoy. So we need to figure out somewhere to put all this stuff. Well, these filtration units probably make sense to be as close as possible to these other units. We could place them down here. Kind of depends on where all that stone is. Yeah, it's up here. So, in theory, we could like place it over here and have it go in a straight line, but the problem is we're going to have 6 belts of stone that are going to have to go down here, over there, up there. It's kind of a little zigzaggy. It makes a lot more sense, though, to just kind of place it right here. So how much space are we talking about? Not too much, really. Okay, so it's going to be something like this, and we won't even need any landfill for it. Well, there is some phosphorite down here, but that's mad clowns that I'm less concerned about covering that up. But it doesn't look like it'll cover it up anyway, so we should be okay. Let's see. We want to definitely have some space down here, because we're going to have 6 belts coming through here, and we're going to want to have room for all of that. About right here. So while all the bots are working, we can get this warehouse in here. About right there. And all 6 belts go in there. And it'll just run all the time because we're going to control the logic in a different location. Now we need to get 6 belts down here. Let's see, let's come in through here. So that'll be 3, 4, 5, 6. Definitely going to need a lot more belts. Can that reach? Yep. Awesome. Wonder if this thing can be positioned differently. It can. We're going to need to empty out this warehouse and get it into the other one. And it looks like we have our stone output coming from over here. How much output is it actually going to be? I don't think it's going to be very much. But technically, every single one of these belts can be filled up if it's running at full blast. So we might want to have like a 7th belt. Let's just make it... I know the belt is red, but does it need to be? Probably not. Let's make it yellow. Of course, out of resources, but... looks like those loaded in okay. Let's hook up all these belts to make this happen faster. Well, that's definitely going quickly. Might as well clear out some trees while I run back and get some more belts. There we go. Let's get all these belts straightened out. Okay, what do we have to hook up here? We've got water. which we can probably come in from over here. I don't know if we can pipe in from that same pump, though. Maybe go in through the bottom instead. Okay. That's running. We need to match it back up with the saline water, which is up above. It's kind of in the way a little bit. So let's just space it out. And we've got to send mineralized water up there too. Guess we can do it just side by side by coming in through there. And same problem, we can't kind of go right here because of this, so let's splice it in. And we got to get the sulfur in. Still not sure where that's going to be. And that's okay. We'll just run a quick belt up there and worry about it once we actually know where it's going to have to go. We'll just run the belt right through there. Problem solved for now. Oh wow. Completely filled up with sulfur. Imagine that. Well, let's grab the salt for now. Just to make a little bit more room. It's probably going to fill up pretty quickly. Let's grab the fluorite as well. Okay, we need to get coal in here. And also seed this setup. But we can bring some coal in here. And luckily, the depot is right here. Since we have such an overload of sulfur, might be a good opportunity to make some more batteries. But I've been noticing that we're only using about half of our accumulator charge at night. And the accumulators are balanced based on the number of solar panels that we have. But we're also producing a lot of power through byproducts and burning those byproducts. So we probably need to have a lot more accumulator charge than we currently do. I admit I have no idea where we're going to put even more of these. Just keep building more, I suppose. But for now, let's double the number. So we had 12,403. Well, let's set this to 12,403. Oops, these are limited. That's why they're not working. That'll be a quick way to use up all that acid we've been building up. Oh man, we're so low on tin. What's the holdup? Just no bobmonium, huh? Yep. Well, every time the train runs, it's going to monopolize that. So we'll just have to deal with it. But I guess we can stop some research for now to try to help a little bit. Well, we can help the bobmonium problem by making this a priority splitter. and sending all the bobmodium to the base. I mean, we definitely want the train filled up, but we're not actually actively producing much with our ore washing setup right now, so it's okay for this to be filled up only after the base has its needs met. Okay, let's just pull off of this depot again. Because why not? We don't need very much coal. One depot will do just fine. Well, now that we know where this warehouse is, we can sort for our phosphorus. Just using 3 sorting facilities. But where we put it kind of depends on where the slag is, because we have to send the extra slag up here. So we're going to need to send some belts up. Actually, it might make sense to kind of like put it over here, because then the belt can go kind of inside that. We'll hold off on that for a second. Stone crushing can kind of happen over there too. Okay, well, let's make some bricks then. And we can just kind of roughly line it up in there. Okay, looking pretty good. Probably running low on belts again, but we'll do what we can. So we need to take those 6 belts and move them in here as well. We can try to do this in such a way as to not have any belts overlapping. And need more belts again. Okay, we should be getting a whole lot of stone when we hook this up. I guess we're missing some inserters. Okay. All green. That distributed the stone quickly. And we're very quickly filling up on stone. And then once that gets to 10k, it will all stop. Alright. We need to get some fuel down here. We got a depot over there, but it'll be easy enough just to make another one right here. So do our request depot. Request charcoal. 1 drone's worth. Let's see, the positioning of all of this is a little awkward. Might work better to do something like that. Actually, even better. There we go. We just need to get fuel, and then we will be pumping out the bricks. That'll make 30 bricks a second. Then we need to send those bricks all the way back to where we're making concrete. Hello, fuel truck. Okay, it'll come in through there, so we don't need this belt. Can we just go under this thing right there? Oh, so close. Oh well. It's almost straight. Could probably put a lot of that crushed stone back into the warehouse now that we're going to be consuming a bunch of it. And the warehouse is full. Well, we're loaded up on filters, so we don't need any of that. If we have enough belts here, we can prepare this with a strongbox. And we can limit it to 10,000. So concrete brick, less than 10,000. Looks like the nitric acid has run out on rubite, and it is falling behind. But once we get stone taken care of here, we'll be making acid next. So that shouldn't be slow for too much longer. Alright, here comes the fuel. And here we go. Let's unhook that so it's not dumping all the bricks. Well, from what I can see, it's going pretty fast. Fortunately, we're running out of charcoal, so we're not going to see it perform at full blast for a little while. But I suppose we can help it. I think I've got some charcoal in the inventory here. They're meant for drones, but we can throw this on the belt just to see how it works. Seems pretty good. It's all green. 2 red belts going in. 2 yellow belts coming out. It's filling up nicely. And this is limiting itself. This is more capacity than what we need for just bricks because we're sending the stone for other purposes. That seems to be operating alright, and we're chugging through the stone. Might as well throw the rest of the charcoal on here. It's going to take the drone a little while to make enough trips to build up a buffer. But now we can hook up the bricks and see how concrete bricks works. Oops, we need a underground right here. There we go. But we're all green. And this is all green. And this much is mostly green. It's taking care of the backlog, but good enough. It's a little dark right here in this corner. But limestone. It's dark in this corner too. Limestone looks like it's working pretty well. Looks like the whole process here is working. Producing lots of concrete bricks. And probably lots of carbon dioxide too. Took a lot of steps to get there. Wow, 100 pollution right here. Yeah. Spiders are not going to be happy. Finally got caught up with all that stone. Okay, another thing that we needed to handle was that landfill. So we need 3 red belts of output. And just putting it off to the side here ought to work just fine. Then it's 1 belt for every machine. But can they even run that fast with stack inserters? Almost, but not quite, but close enough. We'll just use 3 stack inserters. But it probably should put them in a slightly better spot than that. Something like this. Oh man, we have no belts. And we're full of armor-piercing magazines again. I don't think we're going to use all of that, but it's making the nickel disappear. That's what's important. And there's our concrete, all caught up. And let's grab a strong box for now. To dump all that landfill in. Since we don't need to actively produce it, let's just limit it to 1. Looks like this is going to be caught up in a moment. And let's try out the landfill. This is the full factory's output. It's not quite fast enough, but pretty close. Good enough. I believe the last 2 stone-related items was the crushing of slag and the generation of phosphorus. Well, phosphorus uses a ton of belts, so let's try to put it somewhere like right here. Let's just build it and then figure out where it needs to go. This is going to require 2 belts. Yeah, I realize it's not the perfect ratio, but let's just do 2 stack inserters per building, because then we can do something like this and through here, so it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. And then the output, 1 stack inserter for slag, and then a yellow for phosphorus. Have that be our slag output. Then phosphorus can basically go wherever. I'll just leave the belt right there, because it doesn't have anywhere to go right now. It will, but for now we'll just have to figure that out later. And then this is going to generate a bunch of slag, which we need to send up to our slag warehouse, which is up here. And actually, there is a space right here that we can fit in. So let's use it. Yeah, it's a little annoying right there, but it fits. We need to have a couple of outputs right here. We need 2 of them. And actually, that fits pretty close. So why not? Let's just use it. And then our slag comes in through there. So this isn't really going to work for very long, but oh yeah, these needed to be filter. Well, that's a big old oops. Let's try this again. Seems as good as to be expected. Then we had our slag crushers. Which we can kind of put, how about right here? Although the direction of the belts is reversed. So we need to send those 2 belts in here. And we are running quite low on available squares on this warehouse, but we've still got enough. But we want to have a circuit condition here. We don't want to be crushing all the slag. We really only want it to run if this crushed stone is getting dangerously low. And honestly, 10,000 is probably a pretty good number for dangerously low. Because we do need the crushed stone for making regular stone. So we can say crushed stone is less than 10,000. Turn on. And it looks like it won't turn on because we just barely have enough. We can put the belt in like right there. And that will always run as well. Looks like slag is getting pretty full. Seems pretty good. I think we only needed like 15 of them, but we have 16 just for an even number. So it's mostly green. Good enough. And then the stone comes in and gets stopped there. And yeah, it's slightly less efficient to have these limiters right here as opposed to all the way up here on the stone output, because it means there's a bunch of slag that's going to be on this belt that's going to be unusable. Basically just stuck on the belt. But one advantage of having this here is that the circuit network is much more instant and it works more reliably. So for example, if we had the limiter here, when it turns on and starts setting slag down, the slag actually has to go all the way down here, all the way down here, through the crushers, all the way over here, before it finally makes it in here. And it means that there's like a delay between when you want it to turn on and when you actually get the resource. So it can make kind of setting the network a little more difficult. So if you have a low value product or byproduct that's you have belted, and you don't mind it just being stuck on the belt for a while, then this will provide a much more instantaneous response with your circuit network. And yeah, we need to technically bus this stone back to the main bus if this is to replace our other setup, but we can kind of worry about that and where all those belts should go once this whole setup is in operation. Because what happens is when we have all of this working and we're sending our ores down to the bus, then we can start deleting everything that we now have a copy of. So it means that all of this would get deleted here, and a whole bunch of this stuff would get deleted too. Like this oxygen would probably get deleted, this coal processing would get deleted, this would get deleted, this would be removed. That's probably most of it. But like a good third of the factory is going to be removed once this is up in operation. And then when that happens, then we can set up the drones or the belt or whatever we need to do. And that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.